Welcome to the fifth ACKA Award, the Australian Comic Kickstarter Award, um, showcasing the absolute best projects from the 1st of July 2024 to the 3rd of June 2025. Look, we have some really great guests in the back, and I think it's going to be a really fantastic showcase of really, really awesome Australian projects. So before we get right into it, I'd just like to thank Kickstarter for basically sponsoring this event. If Kickstarter providing some absolute amazing trophies for all the winners, and Comics Book on Demand, they are printed in New South Wales. This is actually their last year. So Comic Books on Demand, the owner Doug has now retired. He's actually traveling around Australia in a caravan and he's living his best life. So we wish Doug absolutely all the best and absolutely thank him for being part of this thing for the last 4 years. So Doug has been a fantastic major sponsor to help make sure everything runs. Without going too fast, there is one special person I want to bring up first. He's the senior comics outreach from Kickstarter, and that's Sam. So Sam, thank you so much for coming.
Stephen, thank you for having me. Always great to be here.
Oh, you've been here, like, you can see so many great Australian projects, and not just Australian, but there's so many really good comics projects that have come through in this last 12 months. You must have been looking through the list and going, oh my God, I can't read all of this.
It's one of those like fire hose problems, right? Where there's so much good stuff coming out. But I think what's so interesting about my role and about Kickstarter in general, and we were talking a bit about this backstage, is the comics category has the highest repeat creator rate, which I'm very thankful for, where folks are able to come fund a project. Most people come with a completed project and are really looking to get money to print and distribute, but that allows them to then run multiple projects throughout the year. So there is this really high volume of storytelling and content and just really interesting things that come out. I feel like I'm seeing a lot more focus on some anthology projects this year, or if you look at some projects that are on the site now, people are doing whole publishing lines for like a business quarter. Glacier Bay Books, who's a manga publisher based out of Canada, they're doing their entire fall line right now. So I feel like we're seeing high volumes of projects coming out and just really interesting, innovative stuff. And especially, it's been here in America, particularly with Diamond closing, it's been such a year of turmoil that Kickstarter really has become this stabilizing force for a lot of people to be able to publish things they normally wouldn't be able to otherwise.
Oh, fantastic. So for the last 12 months, what would you consider some really big highlights in terms of the Kickstarter comic space?
So one thing I want to bring up, because I've seen it and just heard tale about it, is that overall, I think our project raise is down a little bit from the past year. And I want to just get ahead and note that I think people are being a bit more conservative in terms of what they're asking for because of some of that turmoil that I mentioned. And, without being too political, just the ever changing and inconsistent tariff situation, right? It's hard to predict what's going to happen. So I think people are being a bit more conservative about what they're asking for. The result of that, though, is that our project success has not dipped as a result. It's actually remained very consistent and is continuing to grow. So it's great to see that despite the challenges in just the macroeconomic space, we're still seeing people find success on the platform. We've also, and I can talk a bit more about this later on, we've been in this really rapid release of different features and technologies on the site, all in the hopes of making the system easier for people to use. And again, making it just more consistent for you to build a solid publishing line over Kickstarter. Outside of that, I've just been seeing really exciting projects, people continuing on. Charlie Stickney's a great Kickstarter example where he released another White Ash annual for his very prominent White Ash series on the site. I really love what Lucky Pocket Press is doing. They just put out Knapsack Volume 2. They did a graphic novel called Basket. and I'm trying to get some more some newer publishers who have access to like very interesting cult IPs to come onto the site for graphic novels, for older films or older video games, giving some of those IPs new life in comics, because I think that's another really great avenue to just have those stories continue on.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, look, but I'm going to basically announce the first category. And I have to say, though, this is actually my favorite category. Of every time we've done this, this is my favorite category. This is basically the best newcomer category, which is a creator, the best creators who have this is their first project that they've ever run. So I want to give two honorable mentions first because these creators did really well for a first-time creation. So the first honorable mention I would like to give out is for Joel Zico's Rock Car. So it's a great-looking project, and it's Joel's first project, and I'm really glad to see it do so successfully. The
It's great
second
to see
honorable
manga inspired stuff as well.
Oh, definitely. I backed this one actually, just as a quick aside, and it was a really fun read. It was a really fun read. The second one I do want to bring up, give me a sec, is from IPI Comics actually. So this is an Australian comic publisher. So they are starting to move into the world of Kickstarter as part of their entire strategy. So they're going to kickstart first, and then to see the interest and see which properties work, and then afterwards widely distribute them. So it's really great to see an Australian publisher basically join the Kickstarter crowdfunding platform. It's fantastic. I think we need more, don't we?
Well, I feel like that's maybe a nice segue.
Yep. And I'll pass for you to announce the winner.
So the winner for best newcomer this year is the Dream of Arcturus, and just a little amble about that. John who's the creator, is the CEO of the Fortress Venues in Australia, and the Dream of Arcturus is his first comics campaign. In this, he blends. I don't want to get away from or give too much away from the story because it's really interesting. I'll save it for John, but it's a really interesting blend of fantasy. It's very metal. John, we'd love to have you on to talk a bit more about the project.
Welcome, John, and congratulations, best newcomer.
Congrats.
Fantastic.
Yes, it's quite a pleasant surprise. I was when you reached out to me, I was like, oh wow, who knew? So yeah, thank you very much, and thanks to Kickstarter for that. It was, got my trophy, which was wonderful, and it was a real highlight of the project actually to be recognised. When we started it, and I kickstarted the idea on Kickstarter, I had no idea. I've never been part of the comic scene. I'd never dreamt of writing a comic before, and the stars aligned, and it seemed like the best medium to tell the story that I wanted to tell. And of course, I read comics, and but I've not been part of the creator community. But so to be recognised by the creator community has been pretty chuffed by that. It's quite novel and quite strange, but yeah, and I'm just glad that I had a chance to launch the comic, and we're already got the layouts now of issue number 2 and a few things going on there. So it's been really good, really fun.
That's fantastic. Look, I missed issue 1. I have to admit this one actually slid through under my radar, but when issue 2 comes out, I'm definitely going to be checking it out. Do you know when issue 2 is coming out? Do you have any later this year, next year?
Yeah, well, it's probably going to be early in the new year. With issue 1, it's the comic story is intimately linked to the sort of lore that I created that supports the Fortress business. And just behind me, this image here it's actually a woven tapestry that sits on the wall.
I'm happy to pop you up, make it nice and big if you like. Give me a sec.
Yeah, I'd love to see that more in depth.
We have to see you. So let me just do this one for a sec.
Yeah. So this this image is actually a giant woven tapestry on the wall of our venue in Sydney. And I used that originally when I was writing the character stories. This is before the comic book. I had all these ideas of the origins of because all through the venues are, actual oil paintings and other things of my characters. And I wrote the prose of a lot of it. In fact, there's half a novel written. And in the end, it was like, let's just tell the story through art and images rather than through prose initially. And the idea was to fuse originally a fantasy story that I like, but I'm more obsessed with sci-fi. So I found a nice way to fuse the two. And you can see even in this little tapestry just there's a little Easter egg of the starships that are, put inside a medieval tapestry. People go, what's that? So I wanted to create these odd, not Easter eggs, but these odd little hints to things. And so the first comic book, which is a foundational piece, there's not that much action in it. It's a bit more sort of expositional about what it could mean to be a human in the 24th century in the year 2315, and then find yourself after a bizarre encounter with a sentient star, being the star Arcturus, find yourself on a fantasy world, which I called Arcune, and my hero has to sort of navigate essentially being a superhuman 24th century nanobot augmented crazy woman to a sort of a quite a dispossessed and meek frightened person now trying to find their way on this bizarre fantasy world, and then ultimately across a bunch of issues she'll become what she's destined to become, which a snake wielding metal is. I was going to use I won't use the word, but a metal sort of
Metal AF is fine.
metal AF snake wielding sorceress, and that's kind of what I wanted to tell. And a lot of what I tried to do was fuse and blend in a bit of metal ethos, because that's my background too from the music industry, was where I came from, and I wanted to bring that aesthetic to the comic book as well and to the story. So it's kind of where it kind of all came from.
Oh, fantastic. Look, thank you so much for coming here, and thank you
My
for being
pleasure.
part of it. And
It's been
I
fun.
know you mentioned it before, but look, the Australian creative community would love to have you. We'll talk afterwards, but we'll absolutely love to have you.
Well, it'll be fun. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice job.
So the next award goes to this is the third most funded Australian project. So Sam, would you like to do the honors?
Yep, the winner of the third most funded Australian project is Sisters of Blood. So Sean, the winner, runs COMICS2MOVIES and is a historical story buff. Sisters is a collaboration with artists Abre and Stephen, our lovely hosts, to bring this fantastic story to life.
Okay, unfortunately, Sean couldn't make it today, so this is the project. But Sean did leave a message for us, so let's find out what he said. Give me a second.
G'day guys, Sean Keenan here, co-creator of Sisters of Blood. I'm really disappointed that I can't get along to the live Kickstarter awards, but I did want to say thank you so much for having us a part of this amazing awards. It's been going for a few years now. Stephen does a great job in running it, and I just want to say thank you to Kickstarter. Thank you to the creative team, including Abre, who did the artwork, Wilson, who did the colors, of course, Stephen, my co-creator, who does the writing, and everyone else that has had a part in this series. We won the third most backed campaign for the last financial year, and we are so grateful and so thankful for that. And I do know that Stephen has sent us the award as well. So although I'm not there on the night, I just want to say thank you very much, guys, again. Thank you, Kickstarter. And I'm hoping with next year, with my little ones and a lot of stuff out of the way, that I'll be able to make the event. So have a good one, guys. Bye.
Thanks, Sean. Let me stop that for a second. And my apologies, Sean. Yet you were the third most backed and not the third most funded. I think I made a mistake back there. So apologies, Sean. But Sisters of Blood was the third most funded. So the next award is the third most. Sisters is the third most backed, and now the award for the third most funded. Sam, would you like to do the honors?
The winner for the third most funded is Fox and Hound graphic novel, and we've got two creators here. With the notes that I have, I know that combined there's over 10 campaigns that they've run, and it's awesome to see them make an appearance in the awards. And I know Fox and Hound has had multiple issues. I believe this campaign was collecting everything into a graphic novel, which, at Kickstarter, that's one of those tried and true paths that we love to see, right? Folks funding issue by issue by issue, then funding a graphic novel. It's a great way to just build up a consistent audience over time. So, Chris, Nicole, we'd love to hear from you. Congratulations.
Congratulations, guys.
Hey, thanks, guys. Been wanting one of these for a while now, so I finally got one.
So fancy.
Yeah, from the last 5 years, but we're very, very proud of the series. Took us a while to get all of them sort of done and funded, and the community has just been incredible over the years. They've kept coming back time and time again, wanting more and more and more. And yeah, it's only because of the people on Kickstarter that we are able to get the product out like this. So we're very, very pleased and proud about it.
Fantastic. Chris, have you enjoyed illustrating it?
Yeah, I mean, since like Nick and I started working together 5 years ago, as the pandemic hit, I quit one job and started doing comics, and literally never looked back. And Fox and Hound, I think, was the third project I worked on you with.
Yes.
And it was literally my first year of doing comics. And it was like, I will give it a go. I don't know if I'll be able to do this. And then I was like, oh, this is actually really fun.
I kind of threw him into the deep end with that one. That was
oh yeah,
a little bit mean of me, but yeah, no, Chris picked it up really, really well. Like, I hope he's had just as much fun doing the girls as I have. I know I've loved all the art coming out of it. So
this isn't the end of Fox and Hound, though. There's going to be more, I'm assuming.
No, this is the first arc done, and then we're gonna have more and more in the future. So I've actually written issues 1 and 2 at the moment. So yeah, we'll hopefully have those in the pipeline of all the other things that Chris has to do. I'm so sorry.
don't be. I like being busy.
So yeah, we definitely want to keep up Fox and Hound. I think it's got such a fan base now from Kickstarter that we really, really are thankful that we can keep telling their story and get further and further. And again, if it wasn't for the platform of Kickstarter coming to Australia, we wouldn't be able to reach so many people around the world. So we really wanted to thank them for that. And, it's such an opportunity that we get to be here and talking about this and getting awards like this. It's incredible, especially down here in Australia. So.
Well, very, very well deserved. Thank you for being on the platform and for continuing to be consistent and good to the community. The community, it's always a two-way street, right? It's the community responds well to great creators and great work and gives you the opportunity to do more interesting stuff. So thank you for being such a wonderful part of the community.
Oh, we're very proud.
Fantastic. So I'm going to drop you guys back for a second. And so the next award is the second most funded and the second most backed. So, Sam?
And I'm very happy to announce that the second most funded and second most backed goes to Wordsmith Volume 5 from our lovely host, Stephen. Stephen's been on the platform since 2015. It's really great to see him use the platform to tell all genres of stories from steampunk to fantasy to sci-fi epics. So Stephen, congrats, and please, tell us more about Wordsmith, because 5 volumes, I mean, that's quite a feat. That's quite an undertaking.
Oh, look, look. It's a story I absolutely loved. It's all about, funny enough, it's about words and how different words mean different things to different people. And I've always used the word family. In this case, it's family. So in the case of family, is your family found family of your friends, or is it blood family, or is it family just a place you feel comfortable with? So I love the idea that words can be mean just so many different things to so many different people. And of course, in this particular story, the wordsmith Victoria, she gets into all sorts of hijinks because she misinterprets what the words mean to different people. And it's actually been, I actually loved it because Wordsmith is currently in, I think, over 500 libraries all across the world,
Wow.
and so in about more than 100 schools all across Australia. So um, it's one of the big, like when I go to schools to do talks and stuff like that, it's one of the things the kids just absolutely love. And I'll be honest with you, that's why I think, and I'll speak on all the guests' behalf as well. That's why we do what we do, because we want to tell stories and we want people to enjoy the stories. And I think that's where Kickstarter is really interesting because it allows creators to put more niche stories out there, more stuff that maybe not quite as mainstream, but has an audience that um, you can, if you can find it, they will love it type thing. So that, thank you so much, Kickstarter, for sponsoring these awards and letting me come up to volume 5 because um, it's not over yet. Yes, I think like Nicole, I've got another probably another 3 more issues before I close off my first arc. So I'm really
Wow.
excited to finish the first arc.
Nice. Well, lovely. Well, congrats again. And yeah, I think you're right that one of the many benefits of Kickstarter is finding an audience where your stories really resonate with them, and that level of dedication says a lot more often than high sales volumes or numbers. When you're able to really resonate with people and build a core audience, that is a huge benefit.
Yeah, definitely. And the final award for tonight, which is the project that was the most funded and most backed Australian project. Um, I'll let you do the honors, sir.
So the most funded and most backed project is Dark Fairies. Annalise, the creator, has brought over 40 artists and 12 writers to create the Dark Fairies anthology project. She's a freelance editor, and her work is also her art is also featured in this work. So, congrats, Annalise.
Unfortunately, Annalise couldn't be here tonight, but she gives her thanks to Kickstarter. And look, it's like you mentioned before, it's really fantastic to see anthologies, especially when it allows so many different voices into one book. And man, I think it looks like an absolute fantastic project. Let me just share this one. So this was Annalise at a recent Supernova, and just give me a sec. And so Annalise at the recent Supernova. Look, Annalise, it's a fantastic project, and really big congratulations to you. And I'm hoping you will come back next year, and there'll be more projects. And I'm really hoping to see you as part of the ACKAs for 2026. Let me close that one. And look, that's really all the awards announced. I'm going to bring everybody back in, and just bring everybody back in. And lucky last, I'll probably just throw it out to anybody at this point. But how have you found the whole Kickstarter experience? I'll probably start with John. Like, this is your first project. How have you found it? Were you refreshing every 5 seconds when the project launched to see whether you got a new backup? Because
I found it was enlightening, and I learned a lot by just watching. I just studied what others had done, and it was to set it all up, and it was pretty daunting because I'm also not might be okay at telling stories, but I'm not very good at graphic design or art or anything. I'm good at sort of knowing what I want, but not sort of being able to do it myself. So having to find help to be able to even do things like make the actual text in the Kickstarter page looked nice was challenging, but I learned from what I could read from others and how they'd done it, and it was really inspiring to get that sort of inputs from just what goes on Kickstarter, and it was fantastic. And then to see the first pledges coming in, like to get like 50 on the first day, you're like, oh my god, this is amazing. And then it gets a little bit hectic when it drops off after the first week, and then you've got to get the bellows out and get demand going again. But eventually, it was really gratifying to hit the number I needed to hit to get it going. So that was awesome.
How was your final 48 hours? Because it always is that the first 48 is the one where everything goes crazy, but the last 48 is exactly the same thing happens. Was that especially as a new creator, was that like, oh my god, they're back, they love me again? Like you have this period in the middle.
There's a bit of that. Confessionally, of course, because we've got a lot of people who come to our venues, there was I wouldn't call it a pre-built fan base, but we were able to market to people that knew about Fortress, and there was a nexus obviously with the characters and the business that we run. So I was able to sort of put the calling out to the fans of the venues and the fans of Fortress to say, hey, take a look at this comic book. And the last 48 hours did produce a bit of a surge. So yeah, it was just a roller coaster. It was a bit of fun and quite nothing like I'd done before. So that was a life experience and now that I've even done it and seen this, I think I'm going to get ready to do issue 2 soon on Kickstarter as well, which is going to be good.
Nicole, how have you found Kickstarter for this year? I know how many projects did you run this year, by the way?
Oh, I think I've got 3 this year, maybe 1 more coming at the end of the year. I don't know yet.
Nice.
I know. I'm crazy. I don't know what's wrong with me. I've got a giant pile of stuff behind me that I'm about to ship out, and then I'm going to do it all over again. Kickstarter's really changed since I started using it way back when. Like, the platform has become so user friendly now, and the tools involved with it are just so easy to create something with. And I think that with so many people doing Kickstarters, you get different opinions and ideas, and people are willing to sort of like go, hey, I did this, what about this? And then you've got videos and things like that added. So it's just an incredible platform, and I absolutely love it. I'm not going to stop using it anytime soon. So yeah, I'm so sorry if my cat just jumps up in the background. He's going nuts right now behind me.
It's all good. He's excited about Kickstarter. He gets it.
Apparently he is. He's just gone absolutely nuts.
Yeah, my cat's doing the same too. So
it must be that time of night. But yeah, no, we're very, very lucky to have such a good fan base on Kickstarter now. And I think everybody likes coming back time and time again when they see a project that, they've backed in the past and things like that, and it gets fulfilled, and you can see the progress of people as they move along through their careers as well.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Chris, anything? I saw you actually launched your own project this year.
Yes, he did.
Like I saw it was all your own. How was that? How do you find that experience?
It was a learning experience. I mean, I was going to say, to tack on to Nick's point, like when I started working with her, seeing people like come up to her and saying, oh, I saw this on Kickstarter, I backed this on Kickstarter, and being like, oh, cool, there are fans that see it online and then see you in person. That's really cool. And like for years, my main interaction was making all of the like transparent PNGs and all the little bits of art for headers and whatnot. So that was kind of like my main interaction. I just did. Nick would say, hey, can you do this?
Can you make this? And we need this, and I need this. Do you have one of these? And
and it was just like, yep, sure. And I was like, all this stuff, and it's like difficult, and I have to cut it out. And then I sent it off to her, and I was like, huh. And then I find out, oh no, wait, that was the easy bit. When I ran my own. But yeah, like it was a learning curve, but it was a good learning curve. Like there are a lot of resources out there, both on Kickstarter and from other people who use it, on like tips and tricks of how to get the most out of the platform. And there were certainly ones that I was like, absolutely used myself when I was promoting the project that I did, and which was successfully funded and hit its first stretch goal, which was cool. So I didn't ask for very much, which probably helped, but yeah, it was it is a good platform to use, like and I obviously knew from Nick using it, it's her go-to, so it's like it already had a good group of people who were like going, yeah, use this one. And yeah, I hunted around, but everyone kept going, no, go back to Kickstarter. Kickstarter is the one you really want to use. And yeah, it was great. But yeah, I'm kind of now in the same position of Nick, of having a bunch of stuff that I've got to finish up and send off. But I mean, I've kind of been watching over Nick's shoulder, and she's such an old pro at Kickstarter, and I was badgering her with questions, but yeah, so I kind of have to say, thank you to Nick as well for her amazing writing and her patience with me over the many years. But yeah,
I love you. It's okay. I love you. Get back to work.
yeah. Bye.
That's horrible, Nick. Look, thank you all so much, and I really appreciate everyone who turned up. And look, congratulations! Like, it's always good to recognize when projects do well, and again, thank you Kickstarter for allowing Australian creators basically to have that little moment in the sun. So it's really good. Sam, I'll give the last words before we close everything off.
Yeah, I just want to, echo what you said, Stephen, of it really is, the platform isn't anything without its creators, right? And without the community of backers that are coming. So thank you everyone for showing up, using the platform to fund things, even if it is for like wildly high goals or even small ones where you're just getting stuff out. It's more important, I think, in our creative landscape to put something out, let readers read it, digest it, let a fan base grow, get that feedback, develop relationships with folks, and give us feedback too in terms of what we can do to make it more user friendly, make the platform more just usable in the long term. So I want to thank this community. I'll be here next year to present some more awards, and I look forward to seeing what comes out.
Fantastic. Thank you all so much. And we'll see you again in 2026.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.